Good evening. Hello, hello. I am so excited to once again be live with you on the Cozy Rosie Crochet channel. Come on in. I'm going to let people join as we are going live, and a huge hello to anybody that is watching on the replay as well. I've already posted a little question for you. I would love to know, even though it is the 21st of October, are you already feeling a little bit festive? Because I hope that after today's video, I'm going to inspire you to get ready to get making those Christmas projects or those holiday projects too. In case we haven't met before, my name is Fiona. I am the designer behind Cozy Rosie Crochet, my YouTube channel, and my company or my business is called Cozy Rosie UK. I'm a designer that specializes in kind of patterns to ignite the passion of crochet and help you learn new skills as you make lots of lovely projects too. Now I can see you've got lots of people watching already, so please do let me know where you are watching from so I can kind of be amazed at how wonderful technology is that we get to be broadcast across the world. I hope you've had a wonderful Friday. I don't know if I'm sounding poorly. I know I certainly still look a little bit under the weather. I'm not quite back to 100% of normality. Been quite poorly this week. We've got someone watching in West Wales. I wonder who that might be. If you are watching in the Facebook group, welcome. Do allow, if you give permission to StreamYard, I will be able to see the names of who's watching as well, which is always quite kind of nice. So I've been a little bit under the weather. So kind of finally getting back to normal today. I'm a little bit sad. I was aiming to get a release a pattern to you today. I do have one next to me this time. That would have been one of my best sellers since I launched it must be 2 years ago now, which is Terry the Tree. Now this is a lighter shaded colour of Terry the Tree made in Aran weight yarn, and this pattern is going to be going live next Friday on the channel for you. We have another free pattern for you, full video tutorial to make Terry and his lovely little star. This one is made up in Aran or worsted weight cotton, and then we've got, this is the same pattern but it's worked up different shade and in DK or size 3 weight yarn. So you can see that it's quite a versatile pattern. With this one I made it into like a little hanging stocking, kind of hanging stocking. I'm obsessed with stockings, as you'll see why in a moment. It's like a little hanging decoration, and put a little bead on. So I'm going to be sharing that pattern with you next Friday. It was supposed to be today, so apologies, under the weather. I don't quite sound great. I don't need a recording of my voice sounding like this. So that will be with you for next Friday. So there's festive pattern number 1 that you're going to be able to be stitching up. Those with eagle eyes may see something over my shoulder that is coming very soon as well. But today, of course, I am telling you more about the Holly and Berries stocking crochet along. So this is the second crochet along in quite a quick period of time in my world. And I'm excited that we're going to have people join us again from all over the world to stitch together and create a new project. So I thank you so much for watching. We've got Juniper and Oaks watching, who I went live with last week. Skynad, lovely to have you with us from Oklahoma. Goodness me. Erin from Juniper and Oaks had already spotted the little mini stockings behind me. A few more weeks to wait for that one. It's all ready to go. I might make it live quickly, but it's being, I can't tell you about that yet. You have to wait till the end. I'm going to tell you how you can get a copy of my mini stocking pattern completely for free. You do have to wait a few weeks, I'm afraid, but it will be worth the wait as well, I'm sure. So literally, where are we? Today's the 21st. So 2 weeks today, the first part of the Holly and Berries stocking crochet along is going to be going live right on this channel, with the first part of the pattern releasing. Now, you might have to let me know in the comments if you would like to see some of the variety that is available to make with this stocking pattern. So the crochet along itself is going to be available for free to view on the website, along with the YouTube tutorials being available for you forever, as always. If you are one of these people that loves to have a printed pattern, so that you can make your notes, print it off, look at it, read it, compare it to the tutorials. I know a lot of you have learned quite a lot doing that with the Hodgepodge blanket crochet along. I am very pleased to say that you can get your printable pattern, purchase your printable pattern ahead of time. So up until the 3rd of November, it's available with no code needed for 50% off over on my Ravelry shop. So in the description box, you will find a link that will take you straight to my website and tell you more about the event, along with that link to my Ravelry shop to purchase the printable version of the pattern right now, ready for it to be released over the course of that throughout the event, and you'll get 50% off, and there's no coupon needed. So are you ready? I'm sure, I know it's on the thumbnail, and I know you've already seen me sharing it here, there, and everywhere. So it's not the small, I mean, they're mini stockings, most definitely. This is not a mini stocking in any way, shape, or form. It's a lovely big stocking with, have to hide my ends, look. It is me after all, guys. It's a big stocking. I haven't worked out how many balls of yarn you can get in, but it goes all the way up my arm. It's lovely and big. I'm going to give you some kind of close-ups to it as well, because I know that there are going to be people looking at it, and they will have spotted the post stitches. Don't worry, don't panic, because I'm going to show you the alternative. If you really dislike making post stitches, there's no need to worry, because there is, I'm calling it an easier version. It's more simple, and it has fringing. So instead of having the crisscross diamond pattern, you just kind of cover that section and leave it plain underneath with a beautiful fringe to kind of give you more detail. So already we have traditional holiday colours in red and white. I've made a pink one because it's for me. And that one's got the fringing, and I just kind of love it. It almost reminds me of a cowboy boot or something with that fringing on it. And you can see, I don't know which colour's showing up better. The red is definitely bolder. We've got lovely, beautiful berry stitches. We've got some post stitches here, which are worked on the top of the fabric, followed by more berries. We're going to, and there's so many techniques that are going to be covered in this event. It doesn't feel like such a small pattern could help you learn and master so many brilliant crochet techniques. But not only are you going to learn, obviously, how to do the berry stitch, how to work your post stitches and create this crisscross diamond, but we're going to learn how to turn a heel. And I know that that can feel quite a scary thing. If you've ever heard someone, especially with knitters, when they're talking about how they turn a heel and they're sat there with 3 or 4 needles, you know, making this round stocking, round sock or something like that. The majority of this pattern is not worked in the round. It is worked flat. So we then seam it up. So you're going to learn some seaming techniques so you can learn which one you prefer to use. We're going to learn specifically how to turn a heel. Now, this technique can be worked either way. If you're working your sock or your stocking from toe up or from cuff down, there are the 2 ways that socks are traditionally worked. And the heel type that we're using, because there are lots of different heel types, we are using a turned heel. Yeah, we're turning the heel and working on short rows. So I'm going to go, there's a video just for the heel. It's not overly complicated. Once you understand how to do it, it's incredibly easy, and it stitches up really quickly. Now, over on the blog post or over on my website, where I've detailed all the details of the event, you'll see how the pattern's actually going to be released. But I'm going to run through some of that with you now, because it's kind of, there's quite a bit that goes in, and it takes longer to make some sections than others. So we have the top section of our leg, which is the first section to be released, and that will take us all the way down to where our post stitches are. After the post stitches, the second video for the leg, obviously there's 2 versions. There's going to be the more advanced version with the post stitches, and a second separate video for the slightly easier pattern that includes the fringing. And then there's going to be, after that, the stockings are exactly the same. Then the next video that will be released, which I think I can even tell you the dates, like I've got it all figured out. So November the 4th, we're going all the way down. The first pattern we'll release will be for this section here, from the cuff down to midway down the leg. And then we've come all the way down to the base of the leg on the second video that goes out the next day. I didn't want to put it all into one video because there's a lot of texture, a lot of techniques, and I wanted to make sure that I'm not overwhelming anybody, because this is a lot to learn, and it might take a few goes to get it that you're happy with it. Then on the Tuesday, which I've forgotten the dates now, is when we do the heel. The following Friday, we then release the foot. And finally, we're going to release the toe, and I haven't got a hanging on there, and the hanging as well. So that's how the pattern's going to be broken down for you. The pattern between both versions are completely the same, except for this little section here. So you're not going to miss out if you choose to work the easier version. Now, I know I'm hoping there are going to be people that are going to go, I'm making two, I'm making both of them, because I've made more than two already. And here's number 3, because I wanted to show all the different colors that it can be made in. Now, materials wise, let's run through some of those before I get ahead of myself. Erin, you're so sweet. Thank you. I really like all the textures as well. And you're doing a stocking crochet. Like, sorry, I didn't know that. Apologies. Ahead of the game, me. I do like to get ahead of the game. So we've got materials wise. Okay, so I've got it written down because I have no memory. All you need is a total of 160 meters of chunky or bulky weight size. Hang on, 3, 4, size 5 yarn. Excuse me. And that will complete the whole stocking. It's up to you whether you divide that across. You only need kind of, I think it's about 100 in the main color and 50 meters or so in the other color. I just like to add on a little bit extra just for wastage and mistakes and that kind of thing. And that's all you need for the whole stocking. This, can you see, is it big? Yeah, no, it is. I know that the photo that I took, I had it in front of me, so it looked really big. It's about 18 inches from cuff to toe in length, and the width is about 6 inches across. So obviously the circumference is a little bit bigger than that. But it means that you can actually fit presents in it. We've all made things that aren't necessarily as practical. Obviously the mini stockings behind me are a tad decorational, although they are really, really good. Oh no, I won't tell you that because that's going to be a selling point. I've got some great ways of using those mini stockings as well. But yes, so I'm getting all deflustered, sorry. 160 meters of chunky / bulky / size 5 yarn. Color wise, the world is your absolute oyster. I can't deny that I have bought a lot more chunky yarn. I had quite a stash of chunky yarn from when I was a maker, and I ended up using almost all of my chunky yarn over the last couple of years, making lots of patterns using chunky yarn. I will admit that this is made 100% of scrap yarn. I still have a lot of scrap yarn in chunky weight that I need to get myself through. So I'm going to be making a few more of these. I've bought some more colors as well because pretty much everyone's going to be getting one of these stockings this year with their gift inside it. I am wholeheartedly going down that handmade holidays route this year. Money for many people this year is going to be tight, and I don't want anyone, I know you don't give to receive, but I know what my people are like, like I want to gift them something that has meaning and has a bit of me in it as well. So they're going to get something handmade, whether they like it or not, but they will like it because, they're nice things. And I want you to feel the same. I want you to have enough confidence that you can create something, make something and gift it, knowing that it's going to be well received and well loved, because that's the biggest fear, isn't it? If someone's like, oh, thanks so much for that gift, that's just what I didn't want. But it doesn't have to be a big thing. And I think when you're gifting handmade, it really makes the difference when it's kind of in the colors that they love, or it's going to match their kind of holiday color themes and that kind of thing. Now, I'm clearly not American, but I do kind of, my friend will know this for sure, I'm a little bit obsessed with holiday decor that the Americans have for many reasons. It's a lot bigger than we have in the UK. I've been buying a few bits from Costco to keep up. I now am the proud owner of a 5-foot wreath that sits atop on my second floor, outside my bedroom window, with my subtle 5-foot, 100 and God knows how many lights it's got on it. I think it's got 800 lights on it, alongside various outside lights. And we are putting them up. Stuff the high prices. I'm still putting my Christmas lights out, maybe a couple of weeks later than normal, but they're going to be going out this year. But for me, that handmade element to the holidays really kind of makes me feel more festive. And I think it goes a long way when you're gifting to add in something that is a little bit homemade. I will be honest, I can tell you, because I don't think that any of the people that are going to receive those stockings are watching right now. But there's going to be a little something inside for the person that's going to receive it, along with some other surrounding elements to it that just kind of bulk out the present, but it's got that kind of handmade feeling at heart. So a little bit about this mini stocking pattern, because there's so much to tell you that's coming up over the next few weeks, obviously, because it's me, and I'm pretty much, you know, work obsessed, and I just want to encourage more people to crochet all the time. So the mini stockings are coming out, I think it's on the 23rd of November, which actually is quite a long way away, isn't it? So, but it will be available as a free download that day. There is a whole new blog hop starting on Monday, I believe it is. And I have 2 featured days in that event. It's one of my favorite Christmas blog hops. It's being hosted by Fospers Designs. Too many S's in there for me, sorry. Fospers Designs. And in that event, there's going to be 32 different patterns that are available to get hold of. I'm going to share all the details to my newsletter subscribers, my email subscribers on Tuesday, because that's my first featured day. So there will be a free download available on Tuesday for one of my other festive patterns that was actually released last year. As you know, you've got Terry coming on Friday. He's coming to see you. That's not in a sinister way, although I don't think you could ever think that that face is sinister, this little bad boy. Now, if you would like to know the materials for this one, as I said, you can either use worsted weight or Aran weight or double knit or size 3 cotton. I used 100% cotton. This is, of course, Lovecraft Simply cotton. And then you just need a scrap of yellow, a scrap of brown, and then for the main colour, it's less, this is terrible, I don't know the meterage, weight-wise, it's half a 50-gram skein of Aran cotton to make this bad boy. I've got 9mm or 10mm eyes. If you're in the UK, it's the ones you get at Hobbycraft that I used on my one. And then a tiny, tiny little scrap of red. So there's lots of techniques to learn for this one as well. All single crochets, US single crochets as well. So that's a nice, easy pattern. That's coming out on Friday. So I would like to know, now that I've got all my blurb out, I'm clearly very warm still. I would like to know, are you a stocking person? I mean, here I am putting out all these stocking patterns, all this kind of stuff. Are you the person that hangs a stocking above the fire, on the mantelpiece, at the end of the bed on Christmas Eve? Or did you have a pillowcase as a child? What did you have as like your kind of holiday traditions that you're kind of carrying on in your lifetime with your families? Or, you know, are you already looking forward to the kind of holiday makes? Have you started some of your Christmas projects? I feel like I'm quite behind. So we've got a couple of lovely stocking lovers with us, which is good, because I certainly love them. I mean, I'm looking over my shoulder. There's nobody there. My dog, Emily, has her own stocking, because that's the kind of dog lover I am, unfortunately. Excuse me having a sip of coffee. Oh, this is a Las Vegas mug. That's probably not the best choice, is it? Oh, it's decaf. Don't worry, it's decaf. I won't drink caffeine this late. So we've got lots of lovely stocking lovers. So that's good. That makes me happy, because I don't know about you, but so someone said, yes, we all still have one. And that's how I feel. We all still have our stocking. And I think, not that you ever replace a stocking, but okay, thank you so much. Oh, Colin. I know who Colin is. Good. Now that must be, oh God, I've forgotten your name now. Helen, that must be Helen who's got the cat called Helen from Helen's got the cat called Colin, I believe. So I think this could potentially become an heirloom. Oh, speaking of heirloom patterns, what's the word? Festive. Oh, I'm so sorry. My brain is really not quite switched on today. Last year I did a really fabulous collaborative crochet along. It was festive inspired. In fact, I think we used an extra large bobble on that. And that was the Snowfall tree skirt. And that pattern is still available. I haven't linked it in the description box, but it is linked. You can do a search on my website to just go in there and put tree skirt on the blog to search the blog. And it will come up with the links to all 3 parts of the patterns. So that was a collaborative crochet along with 2 other designers that we used. And that really created the most wonderful tree skirt. It was huge. It went all the way around, and I have quite a large tree, obviously. Went all the way around the bottom of the tree, and had room to kind of set your presents on and this kind of stuff. And it really made my tree, I mean, I think I've still got it. I know that my sister-in-law had her eye on it, but I might have to stitch her own one up, because I will certainly be using mine again. But yeah, the snowfall tree skirt was absolutely stunning, and all three of the designers, myself included, I think are incredibly proud of that pattern, and it's still available. You can view it for free over on my website. You've got the part 3 on my blog. And Helen from Sunflower Cottage Crochet and Susanna from Foster's Designs were the other collaborative designers as well. And that was really quite good fun, working that project up across the three of us, as you can imagine. But yeah, maybe I was inspired, because there were definitely bubble stitches in my part of the pattern. So you can definitely, that would go really well with this. But I think this could be considered like an heirloom pattern, you know, like you make it and someone would just treasure it forever. And I just think it's lovely. Oh, Sarah said that stockings are the best thing to get on Christmas Day. And I think if a lot of people, actually, I know I've spoken to quite a few people about this year, certainly, where people are kind of doing the stocking gifts. Now, if you're not familiar with that, it's kind of like what the Americans might call a Secret Santa, but you do it within a household. And rather than you all get a big pile of presents, you might just get a whole stocking to yourself, and everyone's put one present in, and maybe there's a limit on how much you spend. And I think that's where, as crafty people, can get away with a lot, because obviously there's no money spent on yarn. Once it's spent, that money's gone, isn't it? So we can justify spending our time on making something cute for somebody, and it hasn't cost us anything. So we get to give extra. That's how I like to think of it anyway. So on top of Terry coming out on Friday, so 2 weeks today, the first part of the Holly and Berries stocking will be available for you to watch and make, followed by the second part of the leg that released the next day. It's only so that you can focus on this top section, or on the top section of the less complicated version, which actually I might ask this in the Facebook group, but I would love to know which version you're thinking of making. If it's going to be the one with the diamonds, or are you going to have a bit of a fringy affair going on in your lounge with all your beautiful stockings? Because whichever one you make, that's probably the biggest part of the whole pattern. So that's why I've split it into 2, so that you can get that section done, feel confident doing that section before moving on to the rest of the leg the following day. Diamonds. I think everyone's going to be making diamonds, and I'd like everyone to give it a go. It's one of those that looks more complicated than it is. Once you know where to place those stitches, you'll be flying. And there's only 2 rows of it, so it really isn't overly complicated, I promise. Yeah, you're going for diamonds as well, Sarah. Don't blame you. I really don't blame you. So I know that obviously if you followed along with the hodgepodge blanket crochet along, that was the 30 different squares that we all put together to create a beautiful blanket. There was quite an epic giveaway at the end of that one. There will be a giveaway at the end of the hodgepodge. No, this is not hodgepodge. There will be a giveaway at the end of the Holly and Berries stocking crochet along. I've not worked out those details yet. I know some of the yarn that's going in already. If you watched the giveaway of the hodgepodge blanket crochet along, you might have worked out that although I didn't say what I was doing with it, there is some yarn that I've put to one side already that is going to be featuring in the giveaway for this one as well. Obviously, I'm going to be giving away lots of chunky yarn to go with this. There's going to be a few more prizes. They're going to be spread a little bit further afield this time, so that you can have more chances to win. But that will be God, I'm so sorry. I'm so drained. What was I saying? So there will be obviously different things to achieve to allow you to enter that prize draw. But as always, there's going to be another little prize draw just for taking part. Now, if you haven't already, head on over to the link that's below in the description box to go and find all the details. Don't forget that you can get your printable copy of the Holly and Berry stocking pattern as it releases throughout the event. If you purchase that before the start of the event on the 4th of November, you can take 50% off the usual price of this pattern. That's only available until midnight on the 3rd of November. And that's midnight GMT, because obviously that's my time zone. And it will be Greenwich Mean Time by then, because the clocks will have gone back. So no more confusion about British Summer Time, Eastern Standard and all that kind of stuff. I get very confused with it all. So that is available right now. You can go and secure your copy at that reduced price. I will be telling you all about that over the next coming weeks. Don't worry, I'm not going to let you miss out. If you are a printing person, you're going to want to get that copy because it has both versions of the pattern in it, and there might be a couple of extras included along the way, but we'll find more about that in the event. So go pick your copy up if you want to. If not, go to the description box and sign up for the reminder emails as well. Obviously, I'm sure you're already subscribed, and of course you've hit that notification bell on this channel so that you get notifications each time a new pattern or video tutorial is released. I am going to go and chill. Apologies for still having a bit of a brain fog when it comes to being a bit under the weather. I hope that all made sense. I hope you're as excited as I am for this event coming up. I cannot wait to share the first part of the pattern with you. As I said, I'll be back with you on Friday on the YouTube channel Cozy Rosie Crochet with Terry the Tree pattern being released for you to stitch up. In the meantime, have an absolutely amazing weekend. I hope you've planned a little bit of crochet time this weekend and a little bit of chill time to go along with it. I must admit, I'm counting the hours down till Sunday afternoon. My husband will be home. We're having a huge takeaway curry, and I will be firmly sat on the sofa eating my face off, basically just eating food, hopefully feeling a little bit better. Huge thank you to everyone that sent such kind words last week when I was starting to feel under the weather. Who knew how bad it was going to get? But I'm really excited to keep sharing all these wonderful patterns with you. I promise you at some point I will give you more information about the exciting news that I got last Friday, which was of course about it being accepted for Crochet Fashion Week. There's not a lot I can say right now, but as I can, I will share as much as I can with you. I can maybe tell you that some of the yarn behind me is definitely going to be used for that event. Mad number of ideas going around my head at the moment. I can't wait to share even more with you. But until then, I will be back with you very shortly with another video and another crochet tutorial. Thank you once again for joining me this evening. And for all of you that caught it up on replay, huge thank you for sticking with my rambling. And I will see you all very soon in another video. Cheerio.